today's class is finding center. Being able to ground into yourself when the winds of life are trying to blow you amidst, all around, and make things feel a little chaotic and a little bit crazy. So be able to root in to your core, both physically, as we'll get into after this beginning part of the practice, and emotionally, mentally, spiritually, internally is what I'm trying to say here. So, in order to be able to come to our centers, we need some foundation. We need to know what exactly that means. And so, breathing properly, I feel, is really step one in this practice. I want you to inhale slowly and deeply. And bring your attention to what you're feeling. Go ahead and exhale slowly. But what you might notice, and maybe you won't notice because some of us breathe incorrectly. I didn't learn how to breathe properly until yoga teacher training. So what you'll find is that your diaphragm and your belly are expanding, kind of like a jellyfish. So that's pushing down and out that way as you breathe in. And it's sucking in and up like a diva cup, if you will, or a menstrual cup is what's coming to mind right now as you breathe out. So pushing the breath out. And this might be a little bit uncomfortable lying down, so just so that you can really feel it, slowly making your way up to a seated position. And however you can get length in the spine, maybe you're sitting on a block on the edge, maybe you're just on the ground. Again, closing the eyes and bringing the attention inward. Inhale deep into the belly and feeling that expansion, and hold and feel what that feels like in your body. And then exhale and feeling that upward motion, that drawing in and up, and how it pushes out the breath. And now there's different places we can go with this, and that's not the whole focus of today's practice, but I just want to do one or two with you just so you can feel it in your body. So we're gonna inhale together, and then on the exhale, I want you to, kind of like you're doing a Kegel, but a lot more subtle, bringing a drawing in, closing off that root chakra so the energy can't escape and it's all contained within the body. And while you're doing that, dropping the chin towards the chest. So we'll inhale collectively into the belly. Let it overflow into the chest and gripping lightly at the perineum, dropping the chest, hold as long as you can. And when you need to exhale, please do so. Let's do it again collectively. Inhale into the belly. Into the chest, gripping the perineum, dropping the chin. And exhale, let it go. One more time, but this time, after the perineum, you're slowly gonna bring that gripping sensation up. So you're kind of like pulling like a channel. I want you to think of your chakras, so like as if you were pushing inward at the base. And then the next level is also drawing in and out, but this is subtle. It's not like the intensity, like you're trying to crush the weights with the Kegel exercise. So inhaling into the belly, the chest, and drawing that energy upward, dropping the chin. And let it go. And you might even notice color sensations. When I do the root, I see red. As we moved up, I saw orange. I don't know if you have that experience, but kind of interesting. So usually I flow, but just for the purpose of finding center, we're gonna come up to a standing position. And I want you to be able to find center within yourself, in your practice. So just starting out with some basic foundations. The tripod of the foot we have our heel, and then we have the pad of the foot under the toes, and the tripod is the heel, this mound under the big toe, and the mound under the pinky toe. So just grounding your weight into that tripod of the foot in both feet, and having them be shoulder distance apart. We like to keep our joints loose, so a loose bend in the knees and a loose bend in the elbows, just to make sure you're still standing properly. Like lift your toes a little bit and you can place them back down. But this keeps the nadis, the meridians open, the energy channels throughout your body, so that, think of them as rivers, like they collect with junk, like a blockage in a storm drain. And when our joints are loose and we move properly through these yoga practices, it allows you to clear the trash from the rivers. So next, checking in with the pelvis. What is it like in space? We can have a tilt backwards, a tilt forward. We really want to make sure that it's neutral. And our core is slightly engaged, but again, we're not crushing things with our abs. Like, this is an unhealthy practice that I tend to do, and I think a lot of women do, is constantly sucking it in, constantly flexing. This is really not good for your body. So making it all a little bit more subtle, and then checking in with the shoulders. I think that we all kind of think that standing up straight is put your shoulders down, and it's actually a third of the way up. Subtle. We tend to search for these extreme feelings in life, like it doesn't all need to be so extreme. Sensation seekers. And then your head is going to be in line with the spine, over the shoulders. It almost feels like this, so the chin is like level, it's not pointing up, but it is back in space. And now check in with yourself. Is the pelvis still neutral? Are the joints still loose? And you can almost feel the life force energy flowing through your body when you stand correctly. So invitation to do that breath work we were doing in the seated position. Deep inhale into the belly and into the chest, and gripping at the perineum in this way. This time bring the energy channel all the way up to your heart center, dropping the throat. And as you release, bringing the neck back up. And now that we know how to find center, invitation to come back to the floor. And we will be here later. Sitting on a block if that's what feels good. There's one student in my in-person class and we're catering to her neck today. So inhale, dropping the chin forward, and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, drop it forward, and exhale, coming back. Taking this on your own. Remembering to breathe. And we're always aiming for that elongation of the spine in yoga. So checking in with the posture as we switch positions. Inhale, dropping the chin forward. And exhale, coming back. Switching directions if I said positions. Bringing it forward. And back. And again, taking this on your own. As we make our way to center, and let's get into some shoulder rolls. Inhale, let's sensation seek and pull them all the way up to our ears. Grip, 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 grip. And exhale, let it go. Inhale deeply. Shoulders up, crunch, crunch, crunch. And on your exhale, let something vocal go. And rolling from here. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale as the shoulders rise, and other direction. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, and making our way to center. From here, we'll drop our left ear to our left shoulder, left arm reaches up overhead and grabs onto your right ear, and your right arm extends to the side. Slight pulling sensation with the hand while you're also pressing against the hand with your head. Breathe into that stretch. It might feel good to walk the fingertips out further from the body. You can explore with bringing them forward, bringing them back. And coming to center, same thing on the other side. Right ear drops to right shoulder, right arm up overhead on the inhale, and as you exhale, left arm out to the side, head presses into the hand presses into the head. And go ahead and seek sensation with those fingertips. Try walking them out farther, maybe out in front of you or back behind you. And from here, removing the block from your bottom, coming to a neutral seat and extending the legs out in front of you. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Slight bend in those knees, length in the spine. Fold. Maybe pedal out the legs. The goal isn't to touch your face to your knees like we always thought it was in PE, trying to look like you're more flexible than the girl next to you in class. The goal is to feel the stretch and to teach your body proper alignment. And from here, we'll separate the legs and inhale to reach our arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Again, if you need to, slight bend in the knee, and the goal is lengthen the spine, not crunching into your neck. Not when you're taking an intentional practice to get out of the conditioning, the way the body functions normally in our lives. Like, let's bring intention to our posture in the time that we're trying to get healthy. Back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the other side. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, and exhale to go deeper into the stretch. I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad thing if your face touches your knee, because that is beautiful. Just maintaining the integrity in the posture. So coming back to center, we're going to inhale to bring right foot to the opposite, to the left knee. Exhale to twist. Right hand comes behind the body, left elbow to right knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, going deeper into that twist. Staying here for 2 rounds of breath. And back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right foot to the other side of the left knee and twisting into that pose. Right elbow is to left knee. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to twist deeper into that posture. Gaze is over the left shoulder. And coming back to center, taking a butterfly position and flapping our wings. Trying to build up a little bit of energy before we take it to our standing series. And from here, crossing the feet and pushing up through the body, making your way to the back of your mat. Inhale, arms up over your head. Exhale, fold over your legs. Let's just hang here for a moment. This is our first forward fold of the practice. Maybe you want to take your hands to opposite elbows. Maybe you want to stand on your palms and give your hand a little massage. Maybe you just like to keep your palms around the knees. Nodding your head yes and no. Final round of breath in this position if there's anything else that wants to come through. And inhaling to halfway lengthen. Exhale, rooting the palms to the earth and stepping back into plank position. From here, we're going to come down onto our elbows and then come back up into a plank. Inhale, drop into the elbows. Exhale, plank. Inhale, elbows. Exhale, plank. Inhale, elbows. Exhale, plank. Continue on your own. Doing our best to stay rooted through our legs. Doing our best not to be throwing our weight around and try to keep this as a strong practice. And from here, resting when you find yourself in high plank position, rock forward on your tippy toes. Feel free to lower the knees and drop your third eye to the mat. Option 1. Rest here for a moment. Option 2, next time we go through that, is to just do a chaturanga. Don't use the knees and only lower halfway. And so this time, as we inhale to rise into baby cobra, looking up. Next time you have the option to engage the legs and do an upward facing dog. Coming back down, third eye graces the earth. And sending the hips back for a child's pose. Coming back into our plank, round 2. Inhaling, elbows. Exhaling, plank. And remembering how to find center and remembering how to come out of it. You know, it's good to know the rules, and sometimes we have to break them. Resting in high plank as we pivot the legs to the side, coming into a side plank. Either side, I'm not going to guide the side. Inhale, arm up towards the ceiling if you can. And just want to give an option if this is too hard to lower that leg that's closest to the earth to your knee, if that's what your body's asking for today. You're like, I wasn't here for a workout, I'm here to stretch. Then take that. One more round of breath. And coming back to plank, other side. So flipping to that side plank to the other side. Arms up, gazes up. And again, option to lower the bottom knees and be here. The bottom knee. Two more breaths. And bringing it to high plank. Option to surrender the knees and take it the first way, or with me, chaturanga, upward facing dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. Shoulders are away from the ears. There's length in the spine. Low belly strong in and up. Sit bones are towards the ceiling. Pedal it out. Deep cleansing inhale. And exhale, let it go. From here, we'll come back into plank position. Lowering the knees and sending the hips back for child's pose. Let's just feel the work you've done. From here, we'll make our way into a tabletop positions and take a couple of cat-cows. Inhaling, heart reaches the heavens, and exhaling, curving in like that black morning cat. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Inhale for a cow, and exhale, cat. Take a few of these fluid style. Maybe you're bringing in the hips, maybe you're barreling the chest. Maybe it's like this weird child's pose cobra thing. Let it be. Maybe bringing a little bit of love to your neck before we come out of this. And making our way back to center. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm comes underneath the left. Left hand is grounded on the earth. Sit bones are above the knees. An option to press into that rooted hand, that left hand, and make the stretch deeper in that shoulder, getting into that neck. Or option to extend left hand. And breathe into this. And coming back to center in your own time. Deep inhale as left arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and exhale, thread the needle. Left hand comes under right, right arm rooted to the earth as you exhale. And pushing into that hand and allowing yourself to get a deeper stretch in that left shoulder. An option to straighten the hand out in front of you. And making our way back to center and sending the hips back. Third eye hits the mat, child's pose. Option to keep the hands out in front of you or by your side. Child's pose can also be taken with closed legs or wide legs. I really like wide legs, leave room for my belly. And making our way back up to tabletop position and sending the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping the feet together. Exhale, right leg goes up, three-legged down dog. Feet are engaged, making sure you can see all 5 toes. And inhale collectively. Exhale, stepping the right foot inside the legs towards the right thumb. Inhale to rise into our warrior 1. And exhale, pivoting the back foot at a 45-degree angle, arms out to a T. Gaze is over the right fingertips. And stand here. Women hold our center of gravity
in the pelvis. So we might need to heel toe our feet apart a tiny bit. Maybe we're good here, but we're not walking a tightrope the way yoga is traditionally taught for a man's body. Inhale, exhale, right arm goes back, left arm graces that back leg. Gaze is up. Inhaling to cartwheel the arms forward, inside of that front leg, and heel toe the foot towards the outside of the mat for lizard pose. I like to come onto blocks. Maybe you want to stay on your hands. If you're super bendy and you're like, I don't need no blocks, an option to drop the back leg if that's what's needed. And inhale. Exhale, let it go. From here, we will all lower the back leg, come up to our hands and heel toe that foot inwards, removing the block for our low lunge. Check in with your center of gravity here. Level the pelvis, protecting the spine by tightening the abs and then pressing forward to feel the stretch in that front left leg. Breathing into it. Collective inhale. And as we exhale, sending the front leg back straight, making the front leg straight, sending the hips back for half split. Pressing into the stretch that you're feeling in the back of that front leg. And always wanting to keep our feet engaged in yoga. So maybe you want to point, or maybe you want to point. And hands come forward, bringing that foot towards the side of the mat for a pigeon pose. Inhale, puffing out the chest. Exhale, coming down, maybe onto a block where the third eye hits it, or maybe you can come all the way down to the mat. If this is too much for you, option to stick a block under that right butt cheek so the stretch isn't so intense, but I am here for the stretch. Another thing I want to point out to avoid injuries for the sake of this video is that your foot is probably slanted inward, not straight across. This is how you're going to hurt yourself. Someday maybe it's straight across. And coming out of this, sending the hips back, third eye hits the earth, child's pose. One more clearing round of breath as we send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale to step the feet together. Exhale, left leg up. Feet are engaged. Inhale together. Exhale, stepping the left foot inside to the left thumb. Inhale to rise. Exhale to land here. And again, making sure you're not wiping a tightrope, making space for the hips in between your legs. And inhale, exhale, pivot the back foot at a 45-degree angle, arms out to a T, ears and shoulders are far away from each other, gaze is over the front fingertips. Inhale, reversing the warrior, exhale, looking up, sticking that, being with this posture. Inhale to cartwheel the arms forward, palms grace the earth. And exhale to heel toe that foot to the outside of the mat, making our way into our lizard pose. Coming down on blocks, staying exactly where you're at, coming down to the ground. Option to drop that back knee. Breathing into the hips. This is one of the hardest ones for me, to just stay in. And how can I just be with that? It's okay if it's hard. Sometimes growth is uncomfortable. And coming back onto our palms, moving the blocks if you've had them. Heel toeing the left foot inward as you drop the back knee and untuck the back toes. Inhale to rise into your low lunge. Exhale to find your posture and then settle, protecting that low back by engaging your abs. Inhale, sending the energy into that back leg, and exhale to release. Inhale to straighten the front leg and send the hips back in space. Hands grace the earth, spine is still long, half split. Making sure that front foot is engaged. Checking in with your alignment. Just wanting to make sure my knee is below my pelvis. Breathing into the back of that front leg. And sending the legs back. Third eye graces the earth, child's pose. From here, making our way back into our hands and knees, popping it up into that plank, and sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping the feet together. Exhale, lifting the right leg, toes are engaged, making sure that as it steps forward on your exhale, it's inserting itself into the hip bone, into the hip pocket, and you might need to come onto tented fingers to step forward onto your tippy toe. Same thing on the other side. Foot's up, feet are engaged, inserting that leg into the hip socket and stepping it forward as you come onto tented fingers. This is what your teacher means when she says stepping forward to the top of your mat. Now hanging over your legs in that forward fold. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to says heart center, palms together. Inhale, right foot can come like a kickstand. Maybe it comes up the thigh. Maybe you use your hands and you bring it up here. Find a drishti, a point on the ground, a point on the wall, something to put your focus on. Breathe here and just stare at that connection point and check in with your balance. Checking in with what we're like here. Are you on that tripod of the foot? What are your hips doing? How about your shoulders? My head's definitely not back in space because I'm staring at my drishti. So it's okay that I'm not in center. I'm gonna fall if I'm in center. And lowering the legs, lowering the arms, finding center. Tripod of the foot, loosen the joints. We're women, so our center of gravity, sending that breath down into the pelvic bowl and leveling it in space. Straightening the spine, shoulders are actually third of the way up. Head is directly in line with those shoulders. And there's curvature in the human spine, so it's a little inward back here. It's not, it's this. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer, to heart center. Inhale, same thing on the other side, finding the kickstand. Go ahead and exhale, finding the next point up, or using the hands to bring that foot up where you want it. Finding the drishti, the steering point in the room where you're going to hone in your attention. In paying attention to your relationship with tree pose. Is there anything you can do to better come into center, or is this where you need to be? Are you taking it too advanced? I'm gripping with my toes, so maybe I shouldn't be here, maybe I should be here. Coming back down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, stepping back to plank. Inhale, rock forward on your tippy toes. Exhale, lowering all the way to the earth in your own way as we inhale for a baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, sending the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Arrive. Inhaling to step the feet together. Exhale, right leg rises into three, legged down dog. Inhale, opening up towards the side. Maybe you come onto tented fingers, maybe you go all the way back and flip your dog, maybe you stay here. Coming back into down dog. Inhale to rise through the left leg. Exhale, flipping your dog, just bringing it to the other side. And coming back to center, dropping the knees. Third eye graces the earth, child's pose. From here, making your way to a seat and slowly working your way to your back. Once we've all arrived here, I'm going to give you a few options. First, if you have the space and you have a wall, legs up the wall. If you don't, a block comes under the hips and we'll make our own wall. Everybody land here. And engaging through the feet. Option to stay here, option to send the legs all the way back for plow pose. If you're going into plow pose, please make sure you can keep the weight in your chest and shoulders and not the neck. Option, sit and release the fingers behind the back. And when you come out of that, if you went into it, using the knees to stay close to the face as if you're wiping sweat from your face. And coming out, controls, beating in that legs up the wall. Removing the block. Feet grace the earth. Deep inhale and exhale, straightening the legs. Inhale, right leg comes over the left, bending the left knee. Interlacing the hands behind the left thigh and bringing that leg up off the ground. Blanking on the name of this pose. And breathing into the stretch of the hip. Extending that leg out in front of you, the bottom leg. And we're going into a twist now. So that other leg that was on top stays on top. Knees go towards the left side, arms out to a T, gaze over the right fingertips. Making your way back to center. Right leg extends out in front of you. Taking a beat to feel the difference between the two sides. And inhaling to bring that left foot on top of that right knee. Bend the right leg. Interlace the hands behind the thigh and lift the legs off the ground for that stretch. Figure 4. Deep collective inhale. And exhale, let something go. Straightening the right leg out in front of you. The other one stays on top. Arms out to a T. Legs twist to that right side. Gaze over the left fingers for a lying down twist. Deep inhale into any tense spots. And exhale, create some space. In your own time, in your own way, untwisting the body and coming into a Shavasana-like position. I'm going to grab some tennis balls. Hopefully I don't see them. Here they are. Do you want squishy or hard? Hard. All right, from here, feet grace the earth. We're lying down, knees knocked together, and placing the tennis balls. You can use your hand. I want you to go where your tension is. So this is called the occipital ridge, and I know I get a lot of intensity there. Trick at home, put them in a sock, tie a knot, and leave it there. But for the sake of today's practice, you can hold them with your hands, right where the neck and the head connect. Using your fists to push them and keep them together, and then surrendering the spine to the earth. Breathe into it. Inhaling to break up the tension, and exhaling to release. And coming down about an inch, another squat on the neck. You will still need your fists to keep the ball in place. said there was curvature to the human spine? Well, forget all about that and try to make it straight to seek the sensation from those tennis balls. It's kind of like you're making a triple chin, or your chin is hitting the chest. And finally, under the shoulders where the neck hits your torso. It's the shoulders, and your arms can come to the side of the body. They no longer need to be engaged. And surrendering the spine to the earth the best way you can. From here, feel free to give your body what it needs, and what I mean by that is maybe the arms up overhead feels better, maybe out to the side, maybe they're to a T and the hand drops forward and back. That's called shearing, giving yourself the massage to the trapezius muscle. I really like to send a block under my hips here. It really intensifies the experience. This is where my muscle heart lives. Big Bad Bertha. So invitation to take another spot if you'd like, but I am going to end my massage here. This is the spot for me. Mid, back, and hips are popular. Butt cheeks are always great. If you did that, open up your legs into a reclined Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. And deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Final 5 minutes here. Feel free to continue with the massage, or we'll all meet eventually in Shavasana. Going to come around and offer some touch. If you do not want to be touched, please put your hands on your tummy. movement to the body. Maybe we're wiggling the fingers or the toes, doing side to side with the hips, or fluttering the eyes gently open. And inhaling to roll to one side. Exhaling once you've arrived. Making your way slowly up to a seat. Once you've gotten there, for the last time, checking in with your alignment, checking in with your internal center, noticing if your mind is in a different place now than it was when you walked in. A thinking point, a journal prompt, if you will, I want to leave you all with, is when connecting to center, it's important to also connect to our values. This is a way to bring yoga into your world outside of class. And so I invite you to write down your top 3 to 5 values. And if you're having a hard time getting to that, we all know things that we want. Start asking yourself why. What's the feeling that can bring? I want a boat. Let's just go with that. That's going to bring you memories with your family. I want a house, security, stability. And with that, inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale to clasp them together. Inhale, dropping the hands to the back of your heart, acknowledging your shadow.